I'm Mr. Basne. This is High School Survival Tips. Wikipedia, a website that is so taboo. Teachers always tell you to never use Wikipedia or never to cite Wikipedia. Here's a couple of reasons why you should actually use Wikipedia for all your projects. Wikipedia is an incredible website. It's got articles for almost anything there is, especially any projects or themes. A few things that your teachers don't tell you about Wikipedia. Number one, very, very good resource to get familiar with your subject itself. So use it. Go look into that introductory paragraph, get familiar with it, go and jump across the page, get familiar with a few things. Number two, you have a bunch of different sources already on that page. If you scroll all the way down, you'll notice that at the bottom, there's a bunch of different references to different sources that your teacher will probably want you to use. Some of them are very advanced sources. Some of them are a bit easier, more simplified sources. So it's you to actually go and filter through them. These references are throughout your page itself. So if you go look for specific things, you'll notice that there's a little 1, a little 2. If you scroll back down, you'll notice that that's an actual reference itself. So if you go click on that link, you have access to the original source where the person who wrote that information on Wikipedia had access to. Don't forget to use your critical thinking though to make sure that those sources are actually legit. Number three, Wikipedia is actually a source that is checked all the time. That's the problem, but also an incredible advantage for that website. Yes, you've got those random trolls, those people that will go and change the information, voluntarily making it false, which makes it a bit dangerous. But you also have those experts that are constantly checking the articles to make sure that it's the most accurate information, but also the most valid to the latest research. So it can be really, really useful to go and verify your sources, to go and check what is the latest research. Number four, you've got this structure that's already done within Wikipedia itself. You have that little menu thing that you can find in almost all articles as long as they're long enough. And you can use this to actually structure different things within your own project, or you could use it to easily find something specific within that. So don't be afraid to use that menu to actually go to the direct sections that are more pertinent to whatever you're working on in your project. Number five, you have these little links and sub-articles all throughout Wikipedia. So if you're ever going through the first article and you're finding some key components that you're not really sure about, you can just click on it, go read about it, and then come back to your main article with a deeper knowledge of it. And that's going to give you the context to really understand that article. There's a few times within my class that student asked me like, what is that? And have I not clicked on that link, I wouldn't have been ready to actually answer that question. But because I did some further knowledge or further research, I was able to actually understand it and answer that question from that student. Before I give you that last point though, you'll want to hear it. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'll have even more videos on all kinds of different things that you will find useful in high school to make sure that you survive, to make sure that you succeed in all of your classes. Number six, my final point. Wikipedia is actually the number one website that teachers use to go and learn themselves. So you'll see either copy-pasted information in our PowerPoints, in our Google Slides. So the information that we learn a lot of the time to be able to teach it can be found on those same sources. So yes, sometimes we're hypocritical in the sense that we say, don't use Wikipedia, don't cite that, even though we do it. So we're also guilty, but it's a very good point in the sense that your project will reflect the actual same information that we read ourselves. So win-win for you.